Welcome to Get Organized at Work. I'm your host, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, healthcare leader, mom of three, and your go-to guide for ditching the chaos and taking control of your workday. This is the show where we turn overwhelming to-do lists into clear, actionable plans so you can crush your goals and show up as your best self at work and in your life. Whether you're here for strategies to stay ahead or systems to simplify your workday, you're in the right place. Let's get organized, have some fun, and make this year your best year in your career yet. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to Get Organized at Work podcast. I'm Kayla. I'm your host. Today, I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking about our household command center. It's not really that big of a command center. It's one thing that we use to help ourselves get organized, and we keep it in our kitchen. So I'm going to be talking about our Echo Show that we have. But first, I wanted to talk about last week. So thank you for all the love on my Halloween episode and some of the spooky tidbits about leadership that I shared. That was kind of fun. You know, just had to have something timely for the holiday. And last week, I did have a contest for leaving ratings and reviews. And I wanted to let people know and to say congrats to Jessica L. Yes. Thank you. You're the winner of the Boo Basket. I will message you inside of the free podcast community to coordinate. So thank you so much for your thoughtful review. Let me read Jessica's review. The title was Finally Found a Substantive Podcast. Kayla does an excellent job providing real and actionable information. Her tools and templates are useful and not just fluff items. I've already started implementing some of the leader standard work, and not only do I love it, but my coworkers also love the organization and consistency it brings. From one MT to another. Thanks, Kayla. Jessica, thank you so much for the review. I love it. Must be both be scientists. That's awesome. Med techs. So, and I also got to talk to Jessica a little bit in our free podcast community because she let me know she did all the things to enter herself into the contest. And she mentioned that she used my time off going away planning template. I forgot what I called it, but that she had a vacation coming up or she was going to be out of the office for a couple weeks. And so just planning ahead of time so that others can be consistent, taking over things, being accountable while she was away. And then she also knew, okay, this is what to expect when I'm back. And it's a lot less of a headache when you return. So that's awesome, Jessica. I'm so glad that you found it helpful. If anybody else wants to snag that template, come into my free podcast community. I have a bunch of free resources in there inside my free resource library. It's also where I share a little bit more personal stuff. I've been sharing some photos from the holiday of my family. I also have a private podcast in there if you want to level up your membership and pay a little extra, which has extra, just off the cuff, on my way to work, additional podcast episodes, a lot less scripted, just me kind of sharing personally and just kind of leadership thoughts that I'm thinking. And then I also have space for people to connect and get to know each other with a wall where they can ask questions. So it's just a cool space. We hit 100 members. So I was checking this, and the other day I looked and it said 100. And I messaged my husband oh my God, babe, I hit 100 members. Because as I've told you before on the pod, my goal for the year was 30 members in the podcast. And then I hit 30 and I reset it to 50. And then all of a sudden it was I no longer have a goal, but I officially hit 100 members in the community. So if you were one of those people, thank you so much for being here and listening. I really, really appreciate it. And I know some of you reached out to me during the contest last week and said, well, hey, I don't listen on Apple Podcasts, so I don't really want to go there to leave a review, or I don't know how to do that. And so I wanted to create a way for you to leave me a review, not on Apple Podcasts, if you use some other app. And so inside the free community, in the feed or the community wall section, I have a featured post. So you should see it when you get the welcome checklist when you join, and also in the featured posts. And it's called Leave Me a Review, and it has a star, a podcast mic, and a heart. And so it should be kind of out there for you to see easy. It's in a tealish blue color, and it says, what would you like Kayla to know about the podcast that has helped you? And what do you love about the podcast? And then I have in parentheses, I'm going to be doing a monthly drawing for free podcast merch. So for any new reviews that come in the previous month or that current month, once it hits a new month, I'll do a drawing, and then I'll let you know if you're the winner. So it's a free way to let me know that what I'm doing is resonating. You can give me tips. But yeah, I just love to hear how it's helped you. And that way you don't have to go into Apple Podcasts. If the numbers are going and more people are listening, then I know it's resonating, but just more specifics would be so helpful. And that's really what I'm looking for. So, anyway, thank you, Jessica, so much for leaving that review on Apple Podcasts. Again, I'll reach out to you to coordinate your boo basket. And then anyone else who wants to leave a review, hop into my free podcast community and check out the featured review post. All right, so let's get down to the episode. There is one little screen in our kitchen right now. And I don't want to say it runs our family, but it has everything on it. It tracks our workouts, our school theme days, our daycare pickups, my leadership coaching calls, holidays, travel. No more of like what's happening today texts, although we're still like learning and figuring it out. Honestly, there was a really simple setup, and I'm going to share a routine that you can copy today. So first, I just wanted to share like how I got this idea. So I don't know about you, but on Amazon, I've been seeing all of those Skylight. I don't know, they're like big, huge wall calendars. They're digital calendars, and I had sticker shock. The ones that I saw were like $349, $399, $619.99 for the Max calendar by Skylight. That's 27 inches. I was like, this is insanity. Like, why would you spend that much? And if you have it, like, no shame, because it looks really cool, right? So it has a like digital calendar where you can see from the photos on Amazon, all of the different time blocks are color coded. So I'm like, okay, vibes, like that's something I would like. And I'm looking into the other functions, and it has, you can create chore checklists and routines for each person, right? Okay, so that's cool. So it seems like it has a interactive touchscreen that's basically your family planner, but it's a limited interface, right? So it's only doing those things. I personally haven't used it, so I don't want to say if it's good or bad. Like, I don't know. But the thing that was bothering me was just the insane price, because I just kept thinking, well, you're honestly just paying to put a really large TV in your kitchen or wherever you're going to put it on your wall. Like, what's the difference between putting a TV screen or computer monitor up in your kitchen and then just showing your Google Calendar? I don't understand. Like, there's probably an app that can do your routines. So, anyways, I thought it looked really cool, and I'm super into calendars, right? Like, my mom said growing up, if it wasn't on the calendar, it didn't happen. And I've shared on the pod before that I'm like, I feel like we gave her so much crap for this. But then looking back and now being a mom of three, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense because just mentally, it's so hard to remember everything. So if you're managing a family or you have a partner and you both have your own independent activities and all of that, or someone's responsible for planning one thing and someone is responsible for another thing, it can be hard to keep track. And so we've always had some sort of like large dry erase calendar in our kitchen, or a large like desk calendar that I have hanging from the wall that I tear off each month. And we have that, and I was using that up to the other day. But in my head, I kept thinking, okay, this Skylight calendar idea is cool. We already have a lot of Amazon Echo and Alexa products in our house. So we have little echoes for our kids, so they can listen to music, and we have them around our house as speakers so we can announce things. Like, it's so much fun to be able to be in the kitchen. And I know my kids are playing upstairs, like I can see them, but it's a long ways to shout. So I'll just say, Alexa, announce, and then I can say, come downstairs for dinner. And then they're like, oh, and then they come. Like, it's so nice. Or just like, if you're not home, but other people are home, they can talk to you. And it's just so funny to get messages from my kids like, hi, mama. It's just randomly throughout the day, like when they're with my husband. So it's been a really cool interface in our house. We can play music and hang out all around together. It can turn on the TV, it can turn it off. Just there's a lot of integrations with it. One of the ones we got was the Amazon Echo Show, which it's not just the dot that you see that looks like that's a speaker. This one actually has a screen. So it has like an 11-inch or so display on it. And I kept thinking, well, I see that there's a calendar widget on this. We already use it for grocery lists because it's like a grocery list widget that comes with the Alexa app. Like all of that is integrated. I wonder if we could kind of eliminate or reduce the dry erase and wall calendar by using this Alexa calendar widget. So I looked into it a little bit over the weekend and it's so easy. So there's different widgets you can add to this display that show like you can have your photos rotating, music up, news. You can control, like in our house, we have some smart lights, so you can control the lights in different rooms and the weather, but there's also a calendar app. So when you have that on your home screen, you can click link to calendar. So you can link it on the Echo Show itself, or you can use your, when you get products like this, you get an Amazon app. So you would just use your Amazon Alexa app for this. So it was really easy to set up. Essentially, you can link an Outlook calendar, a Gmail calendar. I forget what other ones you can link, but if you have an online calendar, chances are it's very easy to link it. So for our family, we've sort of played around with the idea of having a Google Calendar. And so I just created a new one, and we have this inside running joke that we call ourselves Team Family. It's something my husband always says when we get in the car. He says, "Okay, Team Family, are you ready to go?" And then we go. So I called the calendar Team Family Cal. And all you have to do is, let's say you're making a Google Calendar, just open your Google Calendar on Google. And then, if you're like, even if you just go to google.com and then press like the Google apps, like it's like the 9 dots on the right hand side, you can pull up the calendar widget, whatever you would call the calendar app, or just go to calendar.google.com and it should open or let you log into your account. And then on the left hand side, you should see other calendars. So for example, I had other calendars in here already that were like from my grad school and some podcast communities that I was a part of. So I just clicked the plus sign to add other calendars and just create new calendar. And all you got to do is create a name for it. So I called mine Team Family Cal. You can make a description and then change the time zone and then click create calendar. So once you do this, it shows up under your calendars. The cool thing about this is if you go under settings, you can add people to this calendar. So I was able to share it with my husband so he can fully edit and add and whatever he needs to do on that calendar too. So that's the nice thing, is that not just I can edit the calendar, he can do it too. And so now that it's all set up, all I have to do is go back to my Amazon Echo Show and then or the app. And when I have the widget up for the calendar, it says link to calendar, and you just actually hover over the QR code that it shares with you on the screen with your camera or your Amazon Alexa app. So super easy. You're literally just clicking on that QR code, and then you can log in to whatever account. So if it's your Outlook calendar, your Gmail, whatever, and then it lets you select, okay, which calendar do you want to be the default for this device? And so I just unchecked all my other calendars and left Team Family Cal checked. And then it showed up on the widget. I was like, this is amazing. So this week, don't hate us for it, but on Saturday, we put up our Christmas tree. It wasn't my idea, but I didn't push back. So as I'm setting up this calendar, I added as a test item, put up Christmas tree with a little Christmas tree emoji, color coded it, and voila, it was there all day. It was so fun. It was like brightening our whole day. And this Amazon Alexa Show, it's in our kitchen. And our kitchen is arguably the hub of our family. It's the heart of where we hang out. And it's just an easy place that we're all going to see it all the time. And so now that it's linked and it's the calendar widget on there, we can go into the Google Calendar on our phones or on our web browsers on our computers, and we can add personalization to it. We can color code by person or area. So like kids or work or coaching versus traveling. Sometimes I used all caps for things that were weird, like non-school day, and then listed who had planned to be home with that person or that kid, because that can happen quite a bit where it's like, who planned to take this day off for this planned day off of school, right? We need to know. Sometimes it's hard to remember with three different kids. Using emojis is really fun. So, like a backpack emoji for school, or like a running person for working out, or a plane for travel. And so, yeah, it's just makes it fun. And then me and my husband can both update it. And you can actually set your settings on the calendar to let you know when events are deleted, edited if you want, things like that. So you can get extra notifications on your phone if you want those. That's sort of separate, but just sort of a bonus too, if you're, sharing this calendar. So I think the workflows that we are loving just thinking and building this is the workouts that we do, just knowing my husband does a ton of working out because he trains for triathlon. So recurring blocks of training for him and for me. And it's nice because then it doesn't feel like if we're both home and the kids are home, like somebody already knows, like, hey, by the way, I have a 1 hour run today. It's so much easier when you have that in your mind versus when the person's like, hey, I have a 1 hour run, or I'd like to get a 1 hour run today, is like right now a good time, right? Because I always want to make sure like the family is good before I go. And so does he. And so if in the morning we both want to do a 1 hour run, it's like, oh, okay, when do we want to do it? And then it kind of spurs that conversation rather than the person having to feel bad. I know he feels guilty because he works out so much, and I don't mind at all, but just kind of like, yeah, having that on the calendar so it's not a surprise. School theme days are super helpful. We just had a whole week of Halloween, different theme days for the boys' daycare. And then our daughter had just pajama day on Friday. And I do drop offs Monday, Friday for the kids. And then my husband does it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I'm the one that picks up almost every day. So I tend to get a lot of like the flyers and things, just trying to like keep all of those school theme days straight. So instead of, my husband being like, what day is it? Or him reminding me like, hey, it's bike day, which I almost always forget. Just putting those on the calendar has been really nice. And then, yeah, recently I've been putting my client coaching days on there because Tuesdays is when I do those. And Hubs has agreed to, just run this show for the evening and not worry about when I get back. I just have to be back by a certain time so that I can be home for when the boys are sleeping or, getting ready for bed. And then my daughter's going to gymnastics. So that's nice. That's the one day of the week that I can work a little bit late. So him knowing, oh, she has a client, I'm not going to bug her, or, hey, no problem, I'm running the show. Just, it makes it easier. Traveling. It's been nice to add some like dinners and some routines, like reminders, like do some laundry. It's just helpful to have the prompt. And then the other thing that I really love is just like date nights and like exciting things to look forward to. So one tradition that my hubs and I always do is go see A Christmas Carol. And I think we only missed it the year of COVID 2020. And then I don't think we went last year. I think we decided we weren't going to go, and we took our kids to different holiday plays, and then we did other things, and like we both thought we went, but we didn't. So I don't know if we were just so busy in like the I don't know, our son being just born in April and then he was still little. I don't know. But we didn't go last year. But anyways, long story short, we just booked A Christmas Carol and a date night. So it's like, oh my gosh. So we put that on the calendar, and I'm just so excited for it to pop up and to have that plan, to be looking forward to it. So just some tips for privacy and boundaries. So when you're creating a calendar, I don't know how about the other apps work, but on the Google Calendar, you can make that calendar not public. So it's just available for the people who have access to it. So it's not a public calendar. So don't worry about, other people seeing it, but just make sure it's private and not public. You can turn off show details for certain calendars if needed. So for example, you don't have to have all of your calendars toggled on, like my work one or my business one. If you want something to show to like your team family calendar type of thing, but it's a work thing, you can always forward it to that calendar or copy and paste it to that calendar. You can say show on other calendar. So don't feel like you need to share other calendars that you don't want shared on that device. And for us, the location of the device is really helpful. Having it in the kitchen as our command center just allows maximum visibility without, it's not like oversharing, we're just having what we need to know up. And honestly, every day we use it for music while our kids are eating. It's so fun. We have little dance parties. So it's just like, it makes sense. It's right there next to the sink and near the dining table. Some troubleshooting things, just if you're not seeing the events, just check which calendars are toggled on the device. And yeah, you can always refresh the widget or like delete it and re-add it to your screen if for some reason it's not showing, but I haven't had an issue. I did have to scan the QR code on my phone, set everything up on my phone, and then I went to the device and I had to go, I said set up there as well, and then selected the calendar from the device. So there might be a little bit of duplicate adding, but it's pretty easy to figure out. Now, I wanted to give you some buying tips. Now, right now, as I'm looking at Amazon, the Echo Show 11, the newest model is $219. I went to our Alexa and had to ask her, like, what version are you? Because I couldn't figure it out. We have the Echo Show 10. And I know I told you those calendars can be like $245, $249, $300, $400, $500, $600. So I still think like $219 could be steep for you because it's the newest model that came out this year. I think there is also a 15. So if you go look up Echo Show 11, it's going to show sort of the one that like what we have. You will also see Echo Show 15, which it looks like a flat screen. And it has built-in Fire TV, which is like Amazon's like Fire Cube. It's like they're integrated, some sort of like a Roku situation. They're trying to be like Skylight there, and that's $299. So that is still more affordable than most of the Skylights out there. But here's the thing. I don't think you need the 11. I have the 10. I can't even find the 10 on Amazon anymore, or the 15, unless you are super into it. I do still see the Echo Show 8s on here. And from looking at the pictures, people have like left reviews. It looks like it does have the calendar widget. So this one right now on Amazon, as I'm recording this, is listed for $149.99 with a limited time deal that's showing $99.99. So it's 33% off. So I will list a link to this in the description or the show notes in the podcast. I do have affiliate links for Amazon. So just so you know, if you make a purchase, I'll get a little bit of a commission. It's not very much, but it does help support the channel. It doesn't cost anything extra to you. But what I did want to let you know is that here's the secret. On Black Friday, Amazon is always having deals on these. Or look for when there's Amazon Prime Days. We just missed those. Those are usually at the beginning of October and then again in the spring. But Black Friday is coming up and you're going to see a bunch of these go on sale. So I would just put these in your list, make a list for like things you might be interested in purchasing. And then you'll get a notification when something in your list goes on sale or a deal. And I would watch these prices go down. The other thing is when we set these up last year, the year before, my husband found them at Target because Target will run a Black Friday deal too. Like buy so many, you get so many dollars off. So I asked him like, how much did we pay for this? And he was like, I don't know. I got them all at the same time for a big, huge deal a couple of years ago. Or last year, I think. Same thing with Best Buy. So just keep your eyes peeled. And so I don't want you to have to go out and buy this. Like, I'm just saying, if you already have an Echo Show, this could be a really nice organizational option for you at home, for your work and your home life, just some tech to make your life easier. Or if you think this might be a good option and you are an Alexa household, you like Alexa, you already use it. Maybe if you don't have the show yet, maybe think about getting one for wherever the hub of your home is, maybe your kitchen, and think about maybe the Echo Show 8 or watch for the Echo Show 11 to go on sale during Black Friday because I'm willing to bet that it will. Well, I hope this episode helped you. I just felt like it was the perfect tech meets life systems episode for you, just because we've been doing that consistency series. And my heart was just saying, oh my gosh, it's November 2nd. And, I want to really enjoy the holidays, but I know my kids have a lot of time off coming up. So just kind of planning ahead for how do I stay organized for that when my husband and I are sharing that time off with our kids, making sure we don't forget anything and, making sure we have all of our holiday parties and traditions planned and yeah, helping us set ourselves up for success for the new year. So I hope you like how we're thinking about our command center and doing a little bit more digital without breaking the bank. So if this helped you, I would love it if you join my free podcast community. It's called the Get Organized at Work podcast community. I'll leave a link below in the show notes for the description, and you can leave me a free review in there if you don't want to leave me one on the Apple podcast. I would love to see you inside. So yeah, I will leave just a quick checklist for you for your kitchen or your family command center in the description or show notes below, but it's basically create a shared family calendar, connect it to your Echo Show, and then turn on the widget on your show for the calendar widget in your home settings. You can color code your events on your calendar by person or subject, add emojis and recurring blocks. And then, yeah, check out Black Friday deals for the Discount Echo Show because I think you will really enjoy it. Plus, it has other, really fun things it can do like music and other things that the Skylight can't do. All right, everybody, I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.